branching off from the premise, Where's My Teeth? This story is called Too Much Coke. Of Coca-Cola. Every day I drink about 4 to 5 cans. Never really had a big impact on my teeth. Every morning I would wake up about 8 a.m. and I'd have a can of Coca-Cola, go through my morning a little bit, then have another Coca-Cola at 10 o'clock, followed by a Coca-Cola with lunch at 11. Then I'd have a second mid-afternoon, a second lunch Coca-Cola at around 11:30. So 4 Cokes, 8, 9, 11, 11:30. Then I'd have another Coke at 3 and at 3:30.
And then a heart attack.
And then 2 Cokes before bed. So 8 Cokes a day on average.
Did you know where your teeth went, man?
Well, never really infected my teeth that I knew of. I'd always drink through a straw. Maybe the Coke would swish around in the back of my teeth and kind of gather some plaque that way. But it was never a big detriment. However, there was one day when one of my teeth fell out. It was loose as it was, I didn't think much of it. I just assumed it was some of my baby teeth. But it fell out, and I was just like, how about that? I've never really lost a tooth as an adult. So I left the tooth on the nightstand, not really thinking much of it. The next morning I lost it, and I thought that was very peculiar to lose a tooth so suddenly. But then a couple days later I lost another tooth. It just seemed like it rotted out of my head. I was like, 2 teeth in a week, how very peculiar indeed. So I leave that tooth on the nightstand, and again, that's the next morning it disappeared as well. So then another couple days go on, another tooth falls out, a third one. And I was like, alright, this is getting troubling.
That's my worst nightmare.
It's a lot of people's worst nightmare.
Not like mine.
The fear of teeth falling out one by one, out of your control. So I think, alright, that is the third tooth out of, in 2 weeks or so. I think I'm just gonna stop drinking Coke altogether. You know, and I used to think, alright, three teeth in 2 weeks, they all go missing. So I'm just like, alright. Not a big deal, not a big deal. You know, I think I can manage this. So I try other substitutes instead of Coca-Cola. I go back to coffee. But I never liked how bitter it was. And then I go back to... and I try tea, which isn't quite the same. I try to put a fair amount of grams of sugar into the tea, see if I could evoke the same feeling of tea. I try seltzer water, but that nothing's added to that. It doesn't quite reach the comparison of Coke. And I try a lot of things. I try a lot of different substitutes. I just try eating pastries. You know, I even take a swig of motor oil because it might as well be the same thing. Nothing really does it. So one night I'm walking to a convenience store and I see a line of refrigerated Cokes all lined up. And I'm just like, if only. And I think, no, my teeth fall out practically every day. I really can't drink any more Cokes. It's too damaging to my health. I don't want all my teeth to disappear. Not like that one woman downstate who allegedly found this huge missing teeth Kroger with a C asparagus conspiracy about this whole black market thing. And I didn't want to be driven to that state of insanity about my dental hygiene. So I thought, I'm just not gonna drink the Cokes. I'm not gonna do it. But I think, but you know, maybe I can drink one Coke. No, not drink a Coke. Purchase a Coke. Something's off. Alright. So I think I'll purchase the Coke and then just not drink it. A simple enough task, you know, it's not like climbing a mountain. I'll just keep it on the counter and use it to demonstrate self-control and willpower, you know, which might be like kind of like a Catholic thing, I guess, you know, just like sacrifice and going without, but I think I can do it. It'll be evidence of willpower and strength to just not drink the Coke. And I thought I'll start tonight, so I purchased that Coke proudly, just a simple can. It kind of looked, I think they kind of did like a retro rebranding thing, so it looked like it had a 90s label to it, which somehow made it more delicious. So I think, okay, just set a Coke on my counter for one night. What can go wrong? So night falls. I have dinner. I cook up some turkey. Have a turkey sandwich. Put some Dijon mustard on it, some mayo, some Gouda cheese. Really, it was quite the bomb, I have to say. I'm surprised CNN didn't just call me right then and ask about the sweet sandwich that I just made. But the Coke is still there, sitting on the counter. And I think, oh, well, all I have to do is just not drink it. But then rain picked up outside. And it was just me and the Coke. I sat in the kitchen chair just staring at it. And I'm just like, alright, I'm not gonna drink it. I'm not gonna drink that Coca-Cola. I don't care about the sound it makes when you first crack it open and that first sip, those rush of suds burning your throat and going down your esophagus and into your stomach. I'm just not gonna drink the Coke. That's what I tell myself. It's the only thought I have for an hour straight. I'm not gonna drink the Coke. Easier said than done. I try to go into the other room, watch some television, watch a talk show through Zoom, because a lot of talk show hosts are essentially YouTubers these days. Not thinking about the Coca-Cola, not paying it any mind whatsoever. Keeps on and I get very thirsty. I drink as much water as I can. I drink some whiskey. But nothing can quite satiate me than the smooth taste and flavor of a Coca-Cola. So I'm watching TV, just watching whatever's on cable these days. And then I hear a voice that says, "Drink me." And I'm just like, what? It repeats itself again, "Drink me." And then I go into the kitchen, and it's the Coca-Cola. And it's just, what's going on? And the Coca-Cola says, "Linus," which was my name. "You gotta drink me." Think about all the suds going down your esophagus into your stomach, settling and making your stomach kind of upset, but also giving your mind a boost of caffeine and sugar that you desperately crave. I ignore it. It's like, no, I can just drink coffee and eat sweets. And the Coca-Cola laughs and says, it's not the same. Mind to it. I go back in the other room and turn up the TV, so I don't have to hear the Coca-Cola beckoning me to slurp it up and to chug it down. Gets louder. Over and over, it beckons me to drink it. And I say, no, I must refuse. I must practice good dietary habits and good dental hygiene. I don't want to end up like that woman who claimed that she was being poisoned by asparagus to have people's teeth fall out and then collected by the dentist's office to be sold on the black market. I'll never turn out like that. But the summons were so consistent. It was so hard to ignore. It was beyond sound, but it was also in my mind too. Just a craving of the Coca-Cola. And then I cave. I sprint to the kitchen, crack open the Coca-Cola, and then chug it down. I slurp it down as fast as I can, feeling all the suds go down my esophagus, into my stomach, give me a slight pain of caffeine and sugar. And then it's over. I felt like I almost passed out from the sugar rush. I was was lying on the ground and had 28 cans of crushed Cokes scattered around me. I must have, in a state of delirium, must have bought all those Cokes and chugged them down. And I just think, my stomach hurts and I'm so strange. It's still nighttime, so not much time must have passed. I look in the mirror and I just think, I can't believe I drank all that Coca-Cola. I look at myself, I can already feel my skin, become affected by the caffeine and the sugar and all the other random ingredients that they might put into the Coca-Cola. I don't think much of it. Whatever sort of like motor oil ingredients that they add. And I just look at my skin, look at my acne, and I look at my teeth. Oh God, the whole reason why I did this was to keep dental hygiene. I didn't want all my teeth to fall out of my mouth. Not like those people who claim those conspiracies with Kroger with a C, poisoning the public and having their teeth fall out just to be harvested by dental assistants. So I look at myself in the mirror, look at my teeth, and suddenly one comes loose. Okay, another, and then I pull it out. It's almost without effort pulling out this tooth. And I think, no big deal. It's just the fourth tooth at 2 weeks. It's nothing at all. And then another tooth comes out, and another, and another. And eventually, I watch all of my teeth rotting, coming out of my face, one by one. They all become more brown and more yellow, and they just fall into the counter like the little flakes of calcium that they are. And I try to shut my mouth to stop myself from shedding all of these teeth, but they just keep going. And it's not that it was a painful and harrowing experience. It was a numb experience. I didn't even feel these teeth come out because they were so withered and so brittle. And then when I uncut my mouth, all the teeth spill out onto the counter. And then I look at myself and I'm just like, oh my God, I have no teeth. Nothing to chew on. Nothing to bite into. And I look at myself in shame. The deep-seated resentment I had against myself for shedding all of these teeth. I don't know what else to do at that time, so I just put the teeth into a little cup, just leave it by my nightstand, and then I go to sleep that night. I don't sleep for very long, and I don't sleep very well. It's not easy to sleep when all of the teeth fall out of your head in one single swoop. But I'm awoken suddenly by the window. Someone's breaking in. They open the window slowly, trying not to wake me. And I freak out, so I turn on the light real quick. And then I see a vicious beast, similar to a moth. Not not quite Mothman, but they had razor-sharp teeth, multiple eyes, a lot of fur, like that of an insect, and insect limbs, and very ferocious, the most ferocious wings that I've ever seen. And they were holding my cup of teeth, and I stare at the beast. And with logic defying itself throughout this entire evening, I just think I'm gonna ask this beast one question. And I asked the beast, "Are you the Tooth Fairy?" And then the creature nods solemnly, and I just nod back and I say, "Okay." I turn off the light, I go back to sleep, and pretend it never happened. When I woke up, there was a 20 underneath my pillow.
Oh my god. Tooth Fairy's paying you for sex and teeth.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
That's a lot to think about.
Yeah, I didn't know that sir was gonna go there, for sure.
Yeah, right. Somebody's got a toothache. And then what happened with the Tooth Fairy?
Maybe we'll find out in the next story. It's also worth noting that the recording was cut off at the first story, so none of the first story made it to the recording, unfortunately. But you got to hear it, so I think that was pretty important. But yeah, it's worth noting that this is a where's my teeth theme spook show this evening. But unlike last week, it wasn't a same continuity. It was a different dental hygiene themed horror. The most riveting horror you can find, for sure. Which is true. I don't think there isn't enough dental hygiene horror. Because, I don't know, I freak out about dental hygiene. I don't know about you guys.
I don't know what to say to that, since I know you freak out about a lot of things.
I freak out about so many things. Yeah. So many things that can be translated into spooks, for sure.
Given how much Coke you drink, I think your teeth are naturally clean.
Yeah.
To,
I mean, it's, I think about my teeth when I drink Cokes,
Sure you do. Do you pray? You pray for every little tooth? Well, you should.
Maybe I should.
You want a little prayer for each and every one of them?
It's, with the coffee and Cokes, it's, yeah, my teeth are in trouble. But it does keep me, it does freak me out. Like many things in this world. But luckily, those things can be translated into spooks.
You name your teeth. Maybe you should have little names for every tooth. So when you pray, you're including them personally.
Teeth prayers?
Yeah, teeth prayers. Tooth prayers.
Alright.
Singular. One for each tooth.
I'm just having flashbacks of when I used to pray to God.
About your teeth?
No, about people.
Oh.
No. But I was just like, and bless this person, that person, and just like do like a little list. So maybe I should do that list with teeth now.
There's a lot of work to do. There's a lot of missing prayers for all your little teeth. With dear baby Jesus and your golden fleece diapers.
Mm-hmm. Alright, so I have the next story pulled. And this is going to be another... I suspect this will be another dental hygiene themed story. Or dental teeth themed, about missing teeth. Alright.
Uh-oh.
Oh my god. This is gonna be a field day. This next story is called Lovecraft's Dumb.
Lovecraft is dumb.
I know, yeah.
I don't know who put that in there. I agree.
a scholar, but I do attend regular conferences at the Lovecraft Conference every year in Memphis, Tennessee. You would think it would be in Boston, you know, in the region where Lovecraft lived and did his work. But apparently they couldn't rent the space at the Boston Convention Center. They had Lovecraft Festival there for a number of years, but those Ivy League snobs really shoved them out, if you know what I'm saying. So we held it in Memphis, you know. The Lovecraft Festival was, the Lovecraft Conference / Festival was 1 week after the Elvis Conference. That would also play at the same amphitheater, conference center. This is not my way of shitting on Memphis or Tennessee. I'm just saying Memphis is into Elvis.
Tread carefully, storyteller.
I blurted out Memphis. I don't really know enough about Tennessee to even make fun of it properly. I'm treading carefully. But as far as the Lovecraft Conference go, you know, I guess you could say I was a big star at the Lovecraft Conference. I've read all of his work, studied his life. In fact, I would argue that Lovecraft is the greatest storyteller of our time. So every year at the Lovecraft Conference, I would always give these lectures about Lovecraft, you know, how he was underappreciated by academia and those Ivy League snobs. A lot of people dismissed him for, you know, just developing a cool mythos and just being all like rock and roll and aiming and just really only captivating the cheap thrills of just spooky testicle monsters. But I was like, no, Lovecraft was so much more. He didn't just rip off 1001 Arabian Nights. He was a visionary with all of his spooks. He was a spook master, for sure. A lot of people would come up and criticize in the outside world, in the default world. That's what we Lovecraftians called people who weren't into Lovecraft. They'd come to me and said, hey, you know, in The Color Out of Space, when he's talking about the scientists with the meteor, they just smashed a meteor with a hammer, and that's not really scientific, even by like 1920s Western standards. He really didn't know anything about science to be writing about it. And I say, well, you know what? Maybe Lovecraft tried to reinvent science. He knew there's a whole spooky world out there in the universe. A lot of people criticize Lovecraft for, even though he told stories about spooks, he didn't quite dive into those spooks. Many people can compare horror stories with riding a roller coaster, and the scariest part is the ascension, and not the fall. And they criticize Lovecraft because he was too afraid to even board the roller coaster. He would just write about how spooky the roller coaster was. And I'm just like, no. He's writing about how spooky the roller coaster was, because the roller coaster was very spooky. I was always dismissed by my infatuation with Lovecraft. Truth be told, horror in America wouldn't be the same without him. But my peers at the Lovecraft convention, they... I have a theory that's a Tennessee joke. I didn't make it. Or Lovecraft. There's a lot going on in this story. So I'd go to the Lovecraft conference. I'd talk all about his stories, about how awesome he was, how he lived. And in fact, when I wrote papers about him, some people said that I wrote like Lovecraft, which I perceived as the highest of compliments. So I'm giving a lecture. I'm giving a lecture at the Lovecraft Conference in Memphis, Tennessee. And then someone raises their hand and he says, "How come Lovecraft didn't do any stories about dental hygiene?" And then I say, "What are you, a dentist?" And he says, "Well, yes, I am. And I don't know if you've spent a lifetime looking into people's mouths, but having done so, I can say there's nothing more horrifying than looking into the mouth of someone who doesn't clean their teeth." And it erupts a laugh from the conference, and I'm just like, well, I don't know about Lovecraft's dental hygiene. And I don't know why he's never written stories about teeth or anything like that. About stories about teeth going missing. Especially all of them at once. Or some of them, a couple of them, gradually over a steady period of time. So I don't have an answer for you. So the conference ends, we have a celebratory hotel party afterwards, just talking about Lovecraft, just being like, oh yeah, those stories are really good, right? Yeah, really spooky indeed. And then another person at the conference, he was also a speaker, he comes up to me, and he says, "Hey, I really like the stuff you write about Lovecraft. You really have a deep admiration for him." And I say, yeah, I'd like to think so. And he says, have you ever seen any of his unpublished stories? And I say, yeah, I've seen a few. I've read all this stuff, everything that's come to print. And he says, no, I mean his hidden works. And I say, no, I don't quite know what you're referring to. And he says, well, the word is that Lovecraft didn't take very good care of his teeth. And I say, I didn't know that about his life. I know his biography pretty well. And he says, yeah, I'll show you something he wrote. It's not a story, but it's a diary entry about his teeth. And I say, okay, alright, I'll bite, no pun intended. So again, I meet with this person, and we talk Lovecraft, we talk dental hygiene, we talk politics, sports, the whole gamut of things you talk about, And he says, alright, so I have a PDF file of the Lovecraft diary. I took pictures of it, and I'll send it to you. And I say, okay, so I get it on my phone. And I read it, and it's Lovecraft talking about him. It's a diary entry of Lovecraft making an initiative to have proper dental hygiene. And it's the most beautiful passages you've ever read about teeth. And it starts off by Lovecraft making the change of, yes, I will have cleaner teeth. I don't want anyone to make fun of me for not having good teeth. people might see me as a spookster someday, you know. I want credit in these Pulp Fiction conventions. So I'll make more initiative of brushing my teeth. Twice, no, 3 times a day. So, every diary entry, he does so. He writes logs of his teeth brushing habits. Every day he brushes. He eats well. He eats a lot of carrots, a lot of vegetables. Nothing too sugary to damage his teeth to cause cavities. The little money he has, he goes to the dentist regularly. And as I read all the breakdown of his entire dental habits, I admire him even more. I just think Lovecraft. H.P. Lovecraft. Howard Philip Lovecraft. I have a newfound appreciation for the superb dental hygiene that you take care of. I've never seen your teeth in person, but surely you have the most immaculate teeth that anyone can imagine. And again, I lament over never seeing these beautiful pearly whites. But then the diary takes a turn, and it starts with, I think something's following me. And I think, this sounds more like Lovecraft, you know. And he goes on to write, and he thinks, I think someone or something doesn't want me to have good teeth. And I think, oh no, Lovecraft. Why would anyone poo-poo your good habits? Surely your peers are nothing but supportive, but all the swell care you're taking about your teeth. But the diary goes on. He talks about being followed by people in suits. He thinks it's FBI or something like that. He also writes down bizarre passages of a supermarket he goes to called Kroger with a C, following him. And always, whenever he crosses these people on the street, they make eye contact with his teeth. And he's just like, I think these people want my teeth. I've taken so well care of them. And I think they're after me. I don't know if this is true or not, but it's causing me so much anxiety that I think I'll write a story about it and make the teeth fear a metaphor for some sort of testicle monster or something. Some sort of spook with slimy tentacles, you know. That whole gamut, that whole Lovecraft thing. People start calling it the Lovecraft thing someday, I assure you. And then I stop reading the diary entry, and I'm just like, who would follow him for having good teeth? Doesn't really make sense. I mean, I did hear that Kroger with a C was in cahoots with dental offices about harvesting teeth by giving bad food to people so that people can come into the night and steal them. So I think about that passage. I think about Lovecraft's superb dental hygiene. God, if only I could see Lovecraft's teeth in person. So admiring Lovecraft in so many ways, in literally every iteration, that you can possibly admire a guy, I think, you know what? I'm going to take better care of my teeth. I think that's the right thing to do. If I truly admire Lovecraft, I will emulate him in every possible way. So that's exactly what I do. I take care of my teeth in a similar way to Lovecraft, you know, emulating his diary logs, doing the same rituals, brushing my teeth 3 times a day. And over time, my teeth become shiny pearly whites, so beautiful and so radiant. I try to smile extra at people so that they can notice my teeth, but no one ever says anything, but I know they're thinking how great my teeth is. But then over time, it seems like people are following me. People in suits, eyeballing my teeth. Even, you know, when I walk past people, they see me, they see my teeth. And it has a vicious glare of just like, yes, I want those teeth. Beyond the usual flattery you may give to someone with nice teeth. But it seems like these people in suits not only want teeth, but they want blood. Causes me great concern. I go back to those Lovecraft diaries, and I reread the final entries about his dental hygiene. And Lovecraft said that he eventually stopped taking good care of his teeth because he wanted those mysterious people following him off his back. And I think, well, that seems a bit silly, even for Lovecraft. There's no reason to be frightened about good hygiene. So what I do is, I continue to keep brushing my teeth, practicing borderline impeccable dental hygiene. And I brush my teeth every day, floss too, go to the dentist regularly. And eventually, I have the shiniest teeth on my block. But those men in suits never relinquish. In fact, more of them show up. So one night, I'm holed up into my studio apartment, and I look out the window every now and then to see if anyone's watching. I do see people in those suits walk by my building. I don't know if they're following me or keeping tabs on me. I don't know. It's very spooky indeed. So, what I end up doing is I go to sleep. I don't want to worry about it anymore. So then I wake up, and I'm strapped into some sort of a gurney in the middle of my room. And I say, hey, what's the meaning of this? What's going on? And the men in suits are there, and there's a doctor that I recognize from that Kroger with a C story about the woman who claimed to see horrible mutilations and surgeries in the basement of a dental office as part of a black market scheme in conjunction with Kroger with a C. Almost identical with the picture. And he says, be quiet, be still. We're about to remove your teeth. And I say, what? And he says, be quiet. So he takes this mysterious device and he extracts all my teeth one by one. I I scream relentlessly, but no one comes to the answer. Men in suits are surrounding the room, watching the procedure with fascination. And what this doctor didn't know was that I named all of my teeth. So it was like watching 20-something friends go. Goodbye, Dan. Goodbye, Daryl. Goodbye, Nathaniel. Vixen. France. England. London. Memphis. Boston. Cleopatra. Julius. Caesar. Treaser. Ozzy. Dio. Deep Purple. And one by one, they're all extracted from my mouth. And I'm just laying there half conscious, blood oozing from my mouth, empty, bare gums with just these holes pulled out. All my nerve endings have its maximum pain. Half delirious, and the doctor, having all the teeth in a little tray, he says, thank you, young chap. Your teeth will not be unappreciated. They'll be put to good use. As we put them in the black market, in conjunction with Kroger with a C, along with all the other skeevy shit they do. I mean, you think this is scary. Kroger with a C, they do some way more fucked up shit than we do. And I'm just staring at him in delirium, and I try to speak, but I don't have teeth. And then I pass out, and then I wake up again. My room's empty. My wallet's gone, so that's cool, I guess. And I start to cry. I start to question Lovecraft's impeccable logic and living and storytelling. And I just sit there alone, and I think, where's my teeth?
Damn.
Yeah. I told you that anti-Lovecraft one would be a field day.
Oh. I don't have anything else to say about it.
It was in a very creepy place.
Mm-hmm.
I zonked out for a minute and I just woke up with the very ending, so I was like, the fuck is going on?
Yeah.
I was like, holy shit.
You woke up and the tooth surgery was going on.
Yeah. It took a dark turn real quick. I will say you guys both look very cozy.
Oh yes.
Mm-hmm.
We're enjoying this.
Good.
Quarantine.
Good.
Don't read Lovecraft. Don't hang out with him.
Do not associate with.
Unless Cody Goodfellow's listening, he's different. Sorry, Cody. I don't know.
Lovecraft's great at the cosmic tentacle spook monsters. But there's a lot of things about him and his work that I don't agree with.
As cat nigger boy, that's not good.
No, not even a little bit.
He inspired a generations of bizarros, but he's dumb.
Yeah. Anyway, I think I'll do one more tooth-themed story.
One more chapter.
Yes. And again, I'm lamenting that the first story wasn't recorded.
Y'all missed something. That was
fantastic.
Okay,
fucked
good.
Up.
Well, I was excited about it because it had a conspiracy component to it, and it was just it had bureaucracy in it, which is
It had bureaucracy.
yeah, because it had a black market.
Nothing gets the heart going like a bit of bureaucracy, I'm
trying
the sweats or the heart to go pitter patter.
I've been trying to reference it in each story as a recap thing, so it was a solid breakdown, but
literally somebody just lost their teeth.
Everyone loses their teeth in these stories because that's
That's the way the tooth crumbles.
Mm-hmm. And now I'll read another one. In the spirit of Where's My Teeth? This next story is called The 5 O'Clock Fangs.
What? Did you do that?
Yeah.
It's also worth noting that, based on the penmanship of these stories, the Where's My Teeth card and the 5 O'Clock Fangs card were written on different
This
days.
is really weird.
I mean, dental hygiene. Hey,
Stories.
if there's any lesson here, brush your teeth, floss them, go to
Snort
the.
Coke, don't drink it.
That's right. Well,
I mean-
I don't think that's good for your teeth either, or body in general. Any sort of snorting that's off. No. I can't. I'm not even gonna. No.
Lovecraft's okay, but snorting Coke's off limits, huh? Alright.
If you noted from that last story, that was satire. You should have known from the protagonists thinking that Lovecraft had impeccable judgment.
Oh my god.
Dr. Rodriguez sat in his living room, having some scotch, enjoying his evening after a long night. He was a dentist by technical profession. He had no ethical concerns about the type of dental work he did, mainly because it took place in basements of dental offices. He would harvest teeth from unwilling clients, sell them on the black market, and also do different types of dental surgeries on different clients in the form of experimentations. These projects were funded by Kroger with a C, as they gave bad asparagus to the public that caused people's teeth to fall out. So that way, dental offices aligned with Dr. Rodriguez's horrible practice could take the teeth and then experiment with them, insert them in other people. In fact, Dr. Rodriguez had an operation last week where he was extracting all of the teeth from a Lovecraft enthusiast who had the most immaculate teeth he's ever seen. But no, he never questioned the ethics of the practice he did. Though people would, if the general public knew towards the types of operations he would do, they'd call him malicious, evil, horrible, gruesome experiments, all related to dental hygiene. And yet they were never accepted. He was never accepted by his parents for not being a surgical doctor on human anatomy, but only worked on teeth. So as he went into these dark dungeons and basements to do these horrible, terrible procedures, unethical in most places of the world, he would think, I'll show you. He was respected by his peers, who were also evil. But the peculiar thing is, he didn't see himself as evil. He thought he was doing the world good. He thought, no, people will appreciate these dental procedures, the experiments I'm doing, the innovative ways of dental surgery. Someday, everyone will understand. Dr. Regus didn't know that he was alone in this insight because he was a madman. He did atrocious things, but he saw himself as good, as a pioneer in a new era of dental surgery. But what would it take for him to realize how evil he was? His phone rings. He's halfway through his double shot of scotch. He's just like, damn, this is good scotch. It's like slurping up candy, you know?
Gosh, it tastes like candy.
But, like, the gratification of candy. Dr. Rodriguez doesn't eat candy because he, too, has good teeth. So Dr. Rodriguez, who's having the scotch, and his phone rings. He still has a landline because he's old-fashioned like that. And it's a call from a dental practice he's been working at recently. Another dental practice that is in an underground market of illicit teeth extraction and delivery, in cahoots with Kroger with a C. So on the other end of the line, it says, Dr. Rodriguez, how are you doing this evening? And he says, well, I'm okay. I'm just enjoying scotch. You know, I had a long, hard week. A lot of pioneering dental procedures, you know. We did a superb teeth extraction, you know, last week. And the person on the other line says, that's great. Listen, we need you to come with the practice. And he says, oh? What do you need specifically? Do I need my tools or anything? I mean, I'm not on call right now. Maybe you can call someone else. And the person on the other line says, no. We need the best for this job. So Dr. Rodriguez, dedicated to his craft, didn't question it and just went to the dental office straight away. It was a cold night that evening. So he arrives at the facility, goes down to the basement dungeon. Every evil dentist's office has an evil dungeon area. So he goes down. He has his lab coat just in case he might need it. And Dr. Rodriguez says, yeah, what's going on? You called me pretty late at night. Surely it's something it's important. And the CEO of the dental branch is there. He owns several dental branches in a privatized dental network. He's usually the one that sends Dr. Rodriguez on assignments. So the CEO says, yes, your work is imperative here. Dr. Rodriguez says, well, what's the procedure? So the CEO says, do you believe in vampires? Dr. Rodriguez says, well, I've never claimed to know about them. However, I've had a couple of patients with very peculiar fangs that seems akin to a vampire, and I saw these patients at night. So I guess you could call me a believer in vampires and all that hoopla. And the CEO nods and says, okay, well, we have a vampire patient in there waiting for you. So Rodriguez says, oh, well, why do you need me for it? And the CEO gets blunt and he says, we need those fangs. Do you have any idea how expensive those vampire fangs are in the underground tooth market?
Oh my god.
And Rodriguez says, well, I've seen the prices, but I've never seen one in person. So the CEO says, take a look in there, in that window over there. Dr. Rodriguez looks into the surgery room, and he sees the vampire, almost stereotypical, has the sleek black hair, the pale skin, but most importantly, the wide fangs. He's trapped into the chair like all of his other patients. And Dr. Rodriguez said, those fangs are truly beautiful on that vampire. And the CEO nods in a steady form of greed. He's just like, right. So what we need you to do, Dr. Rodriguez, is to extract those fangs. You're the only one that lacks the ethical reasoning to do so. Dr. Rodriguez says, don't know what you mean by that, but sure, I guess I can do that. Did you just call me Dr. Fang right now? No, if I did, I meant to say Rodriguez. And Dr. Rodriguez says, I could have sworn you said Fang. That's another guy, works at a different dental practice. He's not even like evil. He doesn't really know what's going on in terms of underground black market dental shenanigans. You know, I'm a professional, okay? And the CEO says, yeah, sorry, just vampires and stuff. I'm talking about fangs. If I called you Dr. Fang, I've met him a couple times. It was a mistake. My bad. We respect your work, Dr. Rodriguez. And Dr. Rodriguez says, thank you very much. Now about these fangs. It's not going to take a usual pair of pliers to take these out. They have to be silver. And the CEO says, we already have that covered. He snaps his fingers, and then a dental assistant steps up and opens a tiny leather box. And inside is a fresh, glimmering pair of silver dental pliers, specifically crafted for vampires. And Dr. Rodriguez says, good. Now, this is a very dangerous procedure, so I'm gonna need a buffer. And the CEO says, right. We have an intern here. I think he can help out pretty well. Okay, bring the intern and 3 other people, dental assistants, and we'll all head in. Give me the silver pliers, and we'll get this done. So Dr. Rodriguez, the 3 dental assistants, and the intern, they all head in. Dr. Rodriguez gives the intern a pair of cheap pliers, and he says, alright, if you want to prove yourself in the underground dental black market hygiene world, your first job, your first real dental work on a patient, extract those fangs from that vampire. And the intern, is a bit quicker than the rest of his lot, and he says, no, I'm not gonna do that. And Dr. Rodriguez says, well, if you want to make it in the underground dental world, you're gonna have to extract from that vampire. We've all extracted teeth from vampires. It's a rite of passage, so to speak. But the intern knew better, and he said, I'm not gonna do it, There's no way I'm gonna survive extracting teeth from that vampire. He's gonna bite me, it's gonna be unpleasant, and I'm not into it. So Dr. Rodriguez says, alright, how about this? He puts his arm around the intern, trying to relate to him a little bit. And he says, if you take those teeth out of that vampire, you'd be a hero. And the intern backed up and says, get the fuck out of here. He's like, what? That's what Kroger with a C says. Well, what do you mean? No, you don't even give a shit about my life. That's the only time you people call people heroes, if you don't give a fuck about if they live or die. I know this game. You're not martyrizing me. I'm out. The intern storms out, and the Rodriguez says, oh, damn. he goes to one of the dental assistants, one of three, or he speaks to all three of them, and he says, okay, with proper protective equipment, which one of you will be willing to extract that tooth from a vampire, not being called a hero, but also being recognized for the adequate risk you're taking? And one assistant raises his hand, and he's just like, well, if I got like good equipment, like a buffer, so that fangs can't sink in, you know. And Rodriguez says, great. So they give him equipment, you know. And a dental assistant, you know, he's walking up to the vampire. And then he sees the vampire's fangs. He's like biting and gnawing. He says, let me out of here. This is bullshit. You're not taking my fangs. And then the dental assistant, with the protective equipment, he says, whoa, wait a minute. And Rodriguez says, what is it? This isn't gonna be resilient against his fangs or anything. He says, what do you mean? Well, you know, it's gonna bite right through it, you know. You're giving me protective equipment just to check a box, but you're not really expecting me to be safe from it. It's very disingenuous, and it's not okay. I'm out of here. So the dental assistant storms off, and Rodriguez says, you think it wouldn't be so hard to be this evil. So he looks at the remaining two dental assistants, and he says, okay, which one of you kind of want to be a vampire?
I do.
The dental assistant says, raising both his hands. Rodriguez says, okay, great. Because if you go take these cheap pliers and try to extract those fangs, there's a strong likelihood that you will be turned into a vampire. It's just no way around it, but it's an important job, and if you're down for that consequence, you know, go for it. The dental assistant says, yeah, that'd be cool. And Rodriguez says, great. So he goes to the other dental assistant, and he says, okay, once the vampire is biting him, you put on the device to pry his mouth open so he can't bite down, and I'll extract the fangs. And the dental assistant says, well, why do you get to extract the fangs? And Rodriguez says, well, because I'm the dentist, you know? Because I want the glory. I have the silver pliers. I'm the one going through basements and dungeons around the country, extracting teeth and doing crazy dental experiments on people without their consent or anything. I'm pioneering a new age of dentistry. Don't you understand? I need these fangs. It must be me to extract them. So the dental assistant pauses, thinks for a moment, and he says, oh, well, I only ask because, you know, it seems less dangerous to be the one to put in the mouth protection thing to pry the vampire's mouth open, and more dangerous to actually extract the fangs. So I was asking you as a courtesy. So Rodriguez says, I didn't think about that. Alright. You seem like you have potential. You can be the one to extract the fangs. Take these pliers, but be gentle about it. This is a very delicate procedure. If we mess this up, our whole operation can go kaput. Do you understand? And the dental assistant says, yes, I do. So the dental assistant put on gloves, and he took the silver pliers, and Rodriguez and the two dental assistants, they go forward toward the vampire who was trying to gnaw at the straps, trying to be unleashed. So the first dental assistant with the cheap pliers goes and tries to extract the teeth, and the pliers break in the process, and he starts to get bit in the arm, and he says, oh no, I'm being bit, this is painful and whatnot. So then Dr. Rodriguez, he puts on the mouth guard on the vampire, extracting the jaw. And then the dental assistant doesn't do anything. And Rodriguez says, what are you doing? The fangs are ready. So then a dental assistant takes out a scalpel and then slices Dr. Rodriguez. Dr. Rodriguez says, "What the hell are you doing?" And the dental assistant removes his face mask, and he has fangs too. In quick haste, he unties the vampire, and they take their third newfound vampire friend, and they flee together. Dr. Rodriguez says, after them, hurry! So the whole underground dental staff, they're chasing the vampires, Rodriguez as well. And then when the vampires are long gone, the CEO goes to Rodriguez and he says, what happened? You ruined it. And Dr. Rodriguez says, well, it wasn't intentional. It was a lapse of judgment. But give me another chance. Surely I can track down these vampires. CEO says, okay, you get one more chance. Otherwise, you're eradicated from the underground dental community. So later that night, Rodriguez sits alone, still with his undrank glass of scotch, trying to hatch a scheme. And then he thinks of something. With a pair of pliers that he has laying around, he extracts one of his teeth. It's bleeding. His gums are bleeding out, but he doesn't care. He puts some ointment on it, some medical aid to it, so it hurts less. And then he puts the tooth under his pillow, and then he closes his eyes as if he was sleeping. And then he waits until 5 o'clock in the morning, and his window slowly opens. And he has one eye open, and he sees the Tooth Fairy come into his room in a moth-like humanoid stature, ferocious wings, multiple eyes, multiple limbs, and a little tiny satchel where the Tooth Fairy keeps their teeth. Rodriguez quickly turns on the light, and he says, "Tooth Fairy, I have summoned you." And the Tooth Fairy says, "What do you desire, then, if you've summoned me so, without the need to relinquish your teeth?" And Rodriguez says, "I know of a pair of fangs we can find together. If you help me find these fangs, I'll give you the largest tooth bounty that I have to offer." And the Tooth Fairy shakes his head solemnly. "No deal. I know who you are, Rodriguez. I know how you get your teeth. I only seek teeth that are only fallen out organically by natural causes. That is my moral teeth code. I will never stoop down to the level of such as yourself, like the most despicable of you humans can do. The vampires know about you, and they're after you. Heed my warning, Rodriguez. Change your ways, or your doom would unfold on you." Rodriguez, not taking any of this seriously, he says, "Be gone, Tooth Fairy." So as the Tooth Fairy leaves, Rodriguez tries to think of another plan. Until he hears a knock at his door. He goes to answer it, and it's four vampires. One that was strapped to the gurney. One that was undercover as a dental assistant. The one that turned. And the first intern that quit. And Rodriguez says, I guess they turned you as well. who's strapped in, says, "We've come for you, Rodriguez. We cannot enter your property due to these specific vampire rules. But whenever you leave your house, we'll find you. We'll destroy you and take your teeth, just to give you a taste of your own medicine." And Rodriguez laughs in that evil scientist laugh. The kind that are funded by bureaucracies with no heart. And he says, "That's fine. I don't have to leave. I can have the patients come here. And if I did choose to leave, I could fend you off. I'll continue to fight to my dying breath." But then he was cut off. The intern was never a vampire at all, and he lunges at Dr. Rodriguez and then pulls him out from the doorway outside the house. And then all at once, the vampires feed on his flesh. They only suck blood, but they wanted him to suffer. And Rodriguez, his life faded from him. He reflected on his life, of all the distorted and demented dental surgeries that he's done, and having no idea of the wrongdoing of all those acts that led him to this moment.
It's fucked up.
It is indeed. And thus concludes tonight's dental-themed quarantine spook show. If nothing else, I hope everyone is motivated to brush their teeth and floss regularly. Good night.